stand against the rising tide. Storms are all around, but I will not go down. I will fight for this. I will fight. I will keep on fighting on until the end. I will fight for this. I will fight to live. I will fight until the day I rise again. I will fight for this. I will fight for this. I can read the writing on the wall. No tree is rise or fall. No one wants to die, but it's not enough to survive. I will fight for this. I will fight. I will keep on fighting on till the end. I will fight for this. I will fight to live. I will fight until the day I rise again. I will fight for this. I will fight for this. Fight for this. I will fight. I will keep on fighting on until the end. I will fight for this. I will fight to live. I will fight until the day I rise again. I will fight for this. 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 I can feel the weight of a heavy wall. This is gonna be the best day ever. This is gonna be the best day ever.
Wake up, top of the morning. The bacon is crispy, the coffee is pouring. My meditation is peeling an orange. The bank says I'm already scoring. I got a parking spot right outside. Step into my brand new ride. All we ever get is green lights and blue skies. This is gonna be the best day ever. You got me looking so fresh. I can't get no better. Baby, I'm a T-Rex, ready to rumble, ready to flex. I'm the king of the jungle. Gonna be the best, best. Shake up, I got a red fruit smoothie. James Brown bumping like I'm living in a movie. Look at me, I do the cha-cha-cha. Look at me, I sing a na-na-na. Tippy-tap-tap like I'm Dick Van Dyke. Chim-chim, I need you to be by my side. Spoonful of sugar, gonna go with it. Oh baby, pass me the butter, gonna roll with it. This is gonna be the best day ever. You got me looking so fresh. I can't get no better. Baby, I'm a T-Rex, ready to rumble, ready to flex. I'm the king of the jungle. Gonna be the best, best, I'm flying 10 feet off the ground. You got me dancing in the clouds. It's like I'm never coming down. No, 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 no. This is gonna be the best day
day ever. You got me looking so fresh, I can't get no better. Baby, I'm a T-Rex, ready to rumble, ready to flex. I'm the king of the jungle. Gonna be the best, best, best. Gonna be the best day ever. This is gonna be the best day ever. Best day ever. Not counting down. We're up and down like kids again. We are alive. We're drawing lines here in the sand. So come across it if you can. Throw yourself against the wall because you're bigger, smaller. You're caving in. Come in, we'll take weight off of your fear. Don't be afraid, my dear. You started living right now. Why don't you take a look around? Your heart is caving in like bigger, smaller. It's okay, your heart is bigger, smaller. Yeah. You're breathing in, breathing like a kid again, feeling good, in and out just like you should. We will always bleed for you, throw ourselves against the wall because we're bigger, not giving in. We know, we know you can't stop it. We won't resist because we have each other now, so don't stop it. Why don't we just begin to live and start living right now? Why don't you take a look around? Your heart is caving in like bigger, smaller. It's okay, your heart is bigger, smaller. Yeah. Just take a look around. Take a look around. Just take a look around. And start living right Just started living right now. Why don't you take a look around? Your heart is caving in like bigger, smaller. It's okay, your heart is bigger, smaller. Yeah.
Yo! What's up, everyone? Patrick completely ignored the thing. You all right, Patrick? Can you still hear me? Or did your thing lock up? Okay.
No.
All right.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. So Patrick wasn't reading the chat, and he was going through actually trying to report builder, going against a semantic model, going against whatever. And he's like, I got it. And then I said, no, man, read the chat. I'm like, that wasn't the problem. And he's like, oh.
Yeah, but I still think I have an answer.
Okay, but that's not, that has nothing. Okay, sure. We'll get into it. Hang on, man. You're getting ahead of us here a little bit. All right. Welcome, everyone. Happy Saturday to y'all. Hope everyone is having a glorious and wonderful time. Matthew, wait. Oh, yeah. He's physically freezing just to mess with me. Yes. Yeah. I don't know. They're saying like you're delayed or well, I don't know. Yes. It's like Kerberos. It just works. Absolutely. Yes. That'd be good if your eyes weren't moving, Patrick. Oh, welcome everyone. Patrick, how you doing?
Living the dream.
I heard you had a good night.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
It's good to unwind and relax after a long week, right? Oh, it's so good. All right. Just thank you everyone for being here. I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. Wyatt, I guess I'm still figuring it out. So here we go. First off, where are we at? First off, big shout out to members of Guy in a Cube. We appreciate everything you do. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you see folks with the green name or the Guy in a Cube logo next to their name, those are members of Guy in a Cube. So thank you so much. They help us do what we do here on the channel. If you want to learn more, you can check out the link on the screen or the link in the chat, or you can hit the join button on YouTube just to learn more about it. No commitment required. Just thank you for checking it out. And so members, just hang in there till the second half. I'll let you know when to get your questions in. Also, I've been announcing this for a few times now. If you are interested, FabCon Vegas is coming up. So end of March into April. It's going to be a good time. Patrick and I are going to be there. Lots of folks are going to be there. Product team's going to be there. So excited to see and connect with folks and to learn all the amazing things and to help teach people amazing things. If you do want to go, you can use Cube 200 to get $200 off your registration. So definitely take advantage of that. That is a great discount. And
got a workshop.
Yes, Patrick has a workshop.
You can learn all Phil and I.
Patrick and Phil Seamark are doing a workshop on direct lakes. You can learn all the amazing things. Full day learning about direct lake in Vegas. What else could be? What's greater than that?
But in a few weeks, we're going to be sledding down a mountain, a hill in Norway that right now in the immediate future is what's better than that. In the immediate future.
Yeah. Well, because I almost died last time.
Yeah.
So I did learn a valuable lesson. Yeah, Fabric February, first week of February, Patrick and I are going to be there. Our pre-con is sold out, so apologies if you didn't get into that if you wanted to join us, but we would love to see you there. I learned a valuable lesson that the sleds are not voice controlled. Just pro tip. Yeah. So, we bought, we're Texas boys, so, we don't have cold weather gear. We bought gear specifically for that trip last year. We are using it again this year. So.
Hey, you just said we are Texas boys. That's right, baby.
We are.
That's right.
We are.
That's right.
Yeah.
Back home.
Yeah.
Back home.
Patrick's out in Houston now. It's amazing. So, all right.
No more Atlanta.
No more Atlanta. Steina in SD, so South Dakota now. Amazing. Used to be Texas. Member for 43 months. Appreciate your long-term support. It says ready to learn and laugh today. And then Otto coming back as a supporter. Otto, thank you so much. Hope you're doing well, Otto. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. What else, Patrick? Am I missing anything?
New members. I think we forgot that last. New people new to Guy in the Cube.
Oh yeah, we didn't do that last. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. If you are new to the live stream or Guy in the Cube in general, put hashtag new in the chat. We love seeing the new faces and folks, and just want to say welcome to you. I'm glad you can make it. So please put hashtag new in there. All right, Casper's in the chat too. Look at that. We got Matthew, we got Casper, we got Alex, we got all sorts of folks in the chat. Love it. I love it. All right. So rules. We have rules on Guy in a Cube. So first rule is put Q : in front of your question to get it queued up. I am standing by to queue it up. Patrick is always super excited about that. One time is all you need because it will show up on my screen and I hit add to queue and that's it. Please do not spam the question. If you spam the question, we have a 3 strikes rule here on Guy in a Cube. And if you spam it, we will put you in a timeout. Someone will put you in a timeout. So one of our moderators, definitely not Patrick. So yeah, don't do that. And then also, as I mentioned before, members, please hold your questions until the second half and we will go into that. Get your questions in early. Like there's probably still room to get to some. It is, we never get to all of the questions usually at all. And so make sure you get it in right now. If you get it in later, we're probably not going to get to it. Come back next time and we'll try it again. If you do have a burning question that you do want answered, super chats always take priority. So take advantage of that, whether in the non-member or the member only side of it. Super chats will always get answered next. But when you do the super chat, if you want to do a question, make sure you type the question in first before you do it. All right. Let's see who is
new. Don't forget the new.
I'm doing the new. I'm doing the new. Okay. Well, it's a new year, so everyone's new, right? Thomas said he's new. He's not. Eugene is there. Hashtag old. All right, I get it. Moret gave a bunch of hashtags. That's awesome. Wyatt's old. Laura's ancient. Oh, come now. All right, so I'm gonna try and pronounce this. Adunio. Hashtag new. Yeah. All right. Moret came back with hashtag new instead of just the 4 hashtags. Awesome. Yeah. Any others? Mark.
Kyle.
Alex is Kyle. I missed who? Kyle. Kyle is new as well. Yeah. All right. Well, welcome.
Look at me.
Yeah, look at you pronouncing Kyle. Pronounce the other one.
No.
So welcome everyone. Glad you're here. Hope to see you again. Definitely engage in the chat. The chat is always lively and sometimes entertaining. Sometimes, always, not sometimes, but always very helpful. All right. So with that, let's get into the queue. Are you ready, Patrick?
Yeah.
Are you
I'm
ready?
Interested.
So hang on. I gotta do some administrative things here real quick as people are lobbing in with the great questions. So we're getting ready. All right, let's do it. Data is king. First question. So I'm still having refresh issues. So we chatted about this last week. I have to import the Dataverse table into Power BI, publish it, and import the semantic model into Power BI Report Builder, and then create the report. And there was an additive thing here of, whoops, I didn't want to do that. Hang on. All right, I unclicked something I shouldn't have unclicked, but the second part was they're in GCC, and so they can't put Report Builder directly against Dataverse. I don't understand. GCC is weird, so I'm just going to chalk it up to that. But we did have further things in the chat. One thing I commented initially, and we made this comment last week, was the question alone doesn't give us enough info. So I would ask everyone, as you're asking questions, please be as specific as you can. I know it's a short window, like you can't type like a book, but relevant info is helpful here. And so some of the questions I had is, okay, where's the problem? Because you've got the data set or a semantic model, and then you've got a report builder. And so does the data set refresh? does, or is the data in the data set after it refreshes, and then report builder. So like where in the chain is the problem? Are we getting error messages? And so the answers were no, we're not getting error messages. And then that they have to do a manual refresh to see it, which made me more confused. So I'm like, okay, so because they said the refresh is not working. And I'm like, okay, well, did we get an error? No error. But as we came out, what we found was that the refresh is working, but the problem is it's not, they're not refreshing fast enough. So Toma had come back with direct query to get it up to date. So you're just querying against it in, kind of real time, but it's as real as the data source is up to date. So refresh is working. It's just not, the intervals aren't fast enough for what they're wanting. So Patrick.
The intervals weren't fast enough.
So if you refresh it, you can only refresh with scheduled refresh. You can only do every half hour if you have premium capacity. If you don't have that, you can only do 8 times a day.
Are they in premium?
I don't know.
Are they in premium?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Because even half hour wouldn't be fast enough for what they want. Because if they're saying like, hey, that row just got entered, I want to see that in the report builder report. Well, okay. But if you haven't refreshed since that row was entered, you're not going to see it. So, right? Because they said manual refresh works because then they'll see the data. Well, because you just did the refresh. And so now you're seeing up-to-date data. And so direct query, if you're trying to get this to be like every minute, like the data is there, that's where you want to start going direct query.
And they can't use direct query because...
I don't know. That came out and said, oh, that's a good idea. I'll go try it. Now, I will say direct query against Dataverse might work. Might work. Yeah.
Look. I went and rebuilt. I did a whole
demo. He did a whole thing. And I'm like, he was so excited. I'm like, nah, man, that has nothing to do. Refresh is working, man. Refresh is working. Like, the refresh is fine. It's just not, the interval's just not fast enough. That's the problem. So, yeah. So, but even still, 8 times a day for non-premium, and then every half hour for premium or premium per user. It's like it doesn't matter on that front because in that scenario, even every half hour is the interval's not fast enough. So you got to go DQ.
Yeah.
So, and Sharon's saying direct link against Fabric Link. Yeah, I mean, there's other options to do some of those things, but import even every half hour on the refresh apparently is not meeting their business needs in terms of what their goals are. So to bring that back, though, is try to be specific in questions when you answer. Otherwise, we go down we need more info. So that happened from last week into this week, and so I'm glad we were able to clear that up in the chat during the countdown. So data is king. Hopefully that helps. Yeah.
I wonder, are they using Fabric? Because if they're using Fabric,
well, they're using Power BI, so they have Fabric. I mean, Power BI is.
I've been working out, man. You better watch out. So if they're using Fabric.
Oh yeah, they're in GCC. There's no Fabric.
GCC.
There is no Fabric.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah. Thankfully, Dan English isn't in the chat. He'd start going off on that.
Yeah. Thanks, Alex.
See, there's Patrick overthinking it again.
Yes, Toma. Sorry, Toma. Wait.
It's not.
Look at this. Look at this last comment.
Power BI
from,
Pro.
Barnett.
Yeah. Uh-oh, Patrick, you froze. Patrick's having some technical issues on his side. He's going to restart his tool, and then he'll be back. But yes, Power BI Pro has no Fabric. I didn't catch if they were only using Power BI Pro.
Yeah.
Hey, you're back.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something with my machine. It's something with the machine.
Do we have to buy you a new one?
Machine. I don't know yet.
You want me to buy you a new one right now?
No, it's literally, it freezes up. The whole machine freezes. My stream PC. I watched it. Yeah.
It's like Mr. Freeze. It just gets cold. And
I got to press Control Alt Delete on my keyboard and then unlock it, and then everything comes back.
Okay.
Come on. We'll talk about that later.
All right. We'll talk about that later. Well, now I want to know what websites Patrick goes to on that machine, and is he getting viruses and stuff because he just clicks on everything? All right, moving on. No, we're not. We don't use Camtasia, Burnett. We don't. I break Camtasia. So yeah. So all right. Anyway, now the chat's trying to debug your machine, Patrick.
It's all right. It's not sleeping. It's not power saving.
All right. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, oh man. All right. Van Lessing. I have two tooltip pages using the same measure. In a matrix, I set the tooltip to report page and auto. So auto for the report page on the tooltip. What determines if it's tooltip 1 or tooltip 2 is appearing? So I'm glad you've asked that. So let's go ahead and head over to my machine and let's take a look at what this is doing. So let's go over. All right. So I have a tooltip page here, which is amazing, right? So it's just a simple tooltip page that goes through, and you can see some amazing info. So what they're doing is if they go into, where's my thing? Let's go into the format page, report, and then properties, and where is it? I forget where it is. It's tooltip, right? They move these things around on me.
You got to go to the page properties, right?
No. It's on the visual.
Oh, you did a video on this. You did a video
look,
on this.
Tooltips right here.
Yeah.
So I just search for tooltip. When you can't find it, search for it.
Yeah.
And so we did report page, and so I always, so Patrick and I both, we explicitly tell the visual which report page to go to, and so I recommend that. But what Van Lessing did was choose auto, and so what auto does is it bases it off of the categories that you have in the report page. And so like you'll see here that it's like it's not picking anything up because it doesn't know what to do. And so what I'd have to do on the report page tooltip is actually give it, so I actually have to signify the data that it needs to go off of in here. And so then it lines up that information to know which one to pick. Now the problem is that if you have, say if I've got tooltip 1 is on category 1 and tooltip 2 is on category 2, but your visual has both categories listed here, then it's just going to pick one. So you don't really have control over what it's doing. And so you want to make sure, this is why I always explicitly tell it which page to go use. And then you don't even need to worry about lining up the category or whatever that's there. So, yeah. Either way, but that's what it does, and so it's basically it's like a simple just match on what's being used. So I say just be careful with that and just explicitly tell it what tooltip page to use. Yes, Matthew, it is. I've been told many times I have an awful smile. So all right, Sandeep. All right, Sandeep. Let's see here. Two-parter. I have a scenario, and there are two ways to handle it. Create a separate hidden 900 measures. And invoke them in one final visible measure using switch. Oh, good Lord. Based on measure ID in filter context. Or the second option is to write a single measure with entire code for 900 measures using variables and return statement. Consider the fact table in direct query model, 500 plus million rows. Which option will send less queries to the database? Oh my gosh.
Sandeep.
I'm going to say it depends.
Sandeep. No.
It's not even, it depends. Yeah, Casper, I was going to go that way. I was going that way, Casper.
I don't even know what the drawer is, but I mean the jar.
You lost it. You lost the money.
Lost the
you had one job.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Well, so yeah, don't do that. So Sandeep.
So the first question is the same logic? Is the same logic in the measures?
Well, so not only that, but I think people are asking in the chat too, like, are these like time calculation things, like
Yeah.
which is
You can
where
calc
calc groups really shine here. So Matthew Rosemary's ugly baby. Hey, you found $1.
Yeah.
Excellent. So yeah, Sandeep, we take a step back from that and figure out like what are you trying to do? Can calc groups help you with that? Because that could really do that. Logic changes for each measure. There is measure dimension. Well, is it based on time intelligence though? Are you doing time intelligence across different? Well, yeah, but
I'm not just replacing the measure in the logic. How am I going to use a calc group?
No, I know. But I mean, is the thing there like we've got this measure and then all the time intelligence and then this measure and all the time intelligence and that adds up to the 900? So like maybe we could pare this down to maybe you've only got like 20 measures. What are you doing? Maybe you've only got 20 measures and the rest of it's the time intelligence stuff where calc groups can help. So same thing. Yeah, Alex is a good question there, right? So like what are we trying to solve? Like at 900 measures, what are you trying to solve? So yeah. So I mean there's a lot of things. The user wants to use analyze in Excel, okay. And that's all fine. Although I don't does calc groups work with analyze in Excel? Patrick. Patrick froze. Oh God, I thought you froze.
No, I'm thinking. I was
so
deep in thought. Yeah, I do think they work with Excel. I think they calc groups work.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Robin said it too.
Yeah.
Or no, not that part, but yeah, like the analyze in Excel, whatever. Like you've got measures, but what are you trying to solve there? Like I would need to spend more time to look at what are the measures doing and how can we simplify that. To make it easier. So, yeah. So, I don't know, Sandeep. Definitely go look at calc groups and see if that can help you reduce the number of measures that you have. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see this next question. Can we add multiple attachments and subscriptions to email and report builder via Power BI service? Last week, query solved. Thank you. You're welcome on solving the query. The answer to your question this time is no. One attachment. Now, what you could do, it depends. So the base subscription thing with inside of Power BI, one attachment. Now, what you could do, though, is leveraging things like Power Automate or just, even code from an API perspective. And you could custom build a solution that could do multiple attachments based on triggers of some sort or whatnot. But that's not out of the box. So you'd have to go create that. So
yeah.
Hopefully that makes sense. Anything to add there, Patrick?
Mm-mm.
All right.
Nope.
Miguel. I have a Power BI premium per user license. However, the option to attach a PDF report when creating a subscription is grayed out. I recently upgraded to PPU, but created report with Pro license. That doesn't matter. The creating the report when it was Pro and now you're PPU, that doesn't matter.
Just go change the
but the workspace.
PPU.
Yeah, but the workspace itself is the workspace assigned to PPU. That's the thing that you've got to go do. And so
go do that. Show them how to do it.
Yeah, I'm heading over to my machine, man. All right, so it's just go to what? They did something.
What was that?
It was task flows, man. They reopened task flows. All right, so inside of workspace settings, if you come down to license info, just go to edit and then make sure that you've got premium per user selected, not pro. Now, understand that when you do that, for anyone to use content within that workspace also has to have a Power BI premium per user license. So
that's right.
That is important. So be aware of that.
It's really important. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I did not. Because I'm the license guy.
But I've got the Power BI, Adam. I've got the Power BI.
Or as my oldest daughter said when she was 7, yeah, I've got the Power BI. I'm like, yeah. So, all right. That's what she said. All right, Prachi. How can we create calculated column as needed to calculate days in Power BI Direct Lake model? Calculated column option is disabled. So I will invoke Matthew. Matthew harnessed something very important. It's like Kerberos. It just works. That was in regards to licensing. So I will. I think this does it. So in the chat, hopefully, yeah, there you go. So I'm harnessing Matthew's maxim of data transformation. Data transformation should be performed as far upstream as possible and as far downstream as necessary. So do it further upstream. But in terms of Direct Lake, you can't. That's not a feature that you can do today. Go to if that's something you really care about.
Not in the semantic model.
Right.
Yeah, you can't do it in the semantic model.
But if that's something you really want, go to ideas.fabric.microsoft.com and go vote it up. I know there's a lot of interesting discussion around that topic, but so you'll have to do it like if either in the lakehouse or even back at the data source, which honestly is what I would tell you to do anyway, and try to avoid the calculated column if possible. So yeah.
But if I'm a Power BI person, Adam, I'm a Power BI person.
Yes, you are.
Write Power Query. I write DAX.
Yeah.
I design models.
Yeah.
I create beautiful reports.
Amazing. With Copilot.
And my model is in Direct Lake. It's in a lake house right now. Okay?
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Copilot.
How do I do it? I don't know how to write Python. I don't.
But you go in the notebook and you can leverage Copilot to help you do those things.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, Alex has got it. All right, so let's keep going. We got a few more minutes on this side. Let's see if we can get through as many as we can. Anand, how to start with Fabric in my organization? Already we're using Premium. That's beautiful. If you've already got Power BI Premium, from a capacity perspective, you can just make sure Fabric items is turned on and then just start leveraging Fabric, right? We could start creating lake houses, warehouses, all the things, leverage, Dataflows Gen 2 or pipelines. You could start doing shortcuts in one lake. One thing I would do if the question's more about how do I level up my skills to go do that, I would recommend going to, let's see if this works. Hopefully I did it. See if I got a link for the Career Hub. Yes. So check out the link I just dropped in the chat. And that will help with just educating on like getting started with Microsoft Fabric and going through there. What are we laughing at?
Why? You saw my response. Adam just blew me off. He just blew my
I didn't even look at you.
Column question off.
Oh.
He just blew my calculated column.
What?
He just blew me off. I didn't do a whole video on this. I wrote it down. I didn't do a whole video on adding calculated columns.
You're going back.
Model.
I'm going forward.
I am.
I'm moving forward.
And then, but with this question,
bring it home.
Turn it on. Yeah. Sure. Turn Fabric on your premium capacity. I don't know if we have a premium capacity where you can go show them how to turn it on, Adam. You gave him a link on how to turn.
No, I didn't give him a link on how to turn it on. I gave him a link on how to get educated.
But you got to show them how to turn it on first.
Yeah. So two options. One, if you go into from a tenant level perspective, you can turn this on. Users can create Fabric items, so that should be enabled, or it could be delegated
right here
down.
Before you go to the other one.
Okay.
Wait, pause. You see right here where Adam is saying this users can be delegated. Control. Who can do this?
You actually
Not
can't change that. You can't change this. This
right
is just
there. Specific
I know.
Security groups.
I know. Well, sure. Yes.
At the top.
But there's another option. There's a more fine grain option, which is the capacity. You can do it on the capacity, right?
Sure.
You can leave it off at the tenant level, and then when you go to a given capacity, hang on. Hold, please. All right. We go in here, and we come down to. No, where is it? Oh, sorry. You got to go to delegated tenant settings, and then you can do this at at the capacity level. And then when I do that, then you can do what Patrick was saying. You could say these specific security groups can do this on the capacity, right?
You have to do this. You can't give everybody just carte blanche access so that they can go and create all these lake houses and warehouses and stuff like this in your environment. And I go all the way back to the capacity. If you don't have ability to do it capacity, do it there. In the tenant settings, and then even in the workspace, don't make everybody admins and members and contributors. Only give people who need access to do those things the ability to do those things, because it'll kill your capacity, right?
Yeah.
If Power BI is already running great and doing great stuff, and you turn it on and you start letting people do Copilot and all the other things, it may affect the performance of your Power BI report. So be careful. Governance, security, those things are important. I've been talking to Casper a lot about security and stuff like that. So he's rubbing off on me.
If you want to learn more about the gory details of that, go check out the Microsoft Fabric Security white paper. It's got a lot of detailed information in there. Casper and his team has been working hard on that. It's like over, I think it's like 129 pages or something like that. It's great bedtime reading.
Yeah, be careful.
Be
careful.
Yeah. And then Alex, I will work on getting I'll get the Try Fabric in after the stream for a command. Good call out. All right. So we are over the halfway mark. So sorry, we didn't get to everything. What?
I didn't know it went by that fast. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I am clearing the queue. Members, you can go ahead and get your questions in now, and we will go ahead and get those queued up and move into member only section. So thank you everyone for watching. Member only section means that only members and moderators can participate in the chat. Everyone else can still watch the stream, learn all the good knowledge, but you won't be able to actually engage with the chat directly. Super chats still take priority. If we didn't get to your question, there were still a bunch of questions in the queue. So make sure that if you do want it answered, super chat will jump the queue, even if you're a non-member during the member only section. So be aware of that. If you want to learn more about being a member, drop in the link in the chat again. You can check that out or hit the join button down below to learn more. All right, let's go over to member only. That is not what I wanted.
Man, I sure miss somebody that used to help us with this stuff.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. So we are now in member only chat. So get your questions in, members. We do have one of the benefits of being a member of Guy in a Cube at the visitor or producer tier is you can pre-submit your questions, and we actually have 2 of those today. And so let's go look at that. First question. Let's see if this actually works. Did I do it right? I did. All right. So this was, it got cut off. So from, actually, let me do that so that it has its name. Klaus sent this in. So a large corporation with over 50 companies across 22 countries is in the process of switching their ERP system to Dynamics 365 F&O, all within a single tenant. So it's a large enterprise organization, single tenant with 50 subsidiary companies as part of that. F&O will function as a common solution database with adaptations for individual companies and countries, approaches to create common semantic models for the entire corporation in areas such as sales, finance, and production. Those models will be made available to individual companies, which will then create their own Power BI reports. There are no centrally created reports. If a company wants additional data, columns, or special key figures, they must create a composite model. Thoughts on best practices, cost effectiveness, performance, all the things. What are the pros and cons of the solution? Is there a better solution available? What do you think, Patrick? It depends.
Be careful. Absolutely, it depends.
All right.
And I'm not opposed to composite models. I'm not. You just have to be really careful about your composite model. Marco Russo did a great video on them long time ago. You should go watch that video. And then allowing them to create measures. Can they write DAX? Can they write performant DAX? Do they know how to optimize and tune their DAX? And so it's just, you got to be really careful. we're giving people the ability to do things like that. Because even though your models are great, when they start combining them and mixing them together and adding measures, who knows? Right? Who knows?
Well, so there's other, like when dealing with composite models too, like there are techniques that you need to be aware of from a best practice perspective. And I think there's some documentation on it. I know Phil Seamark's done some stuff on it too. But like depending on how you craft things, you could end up with an actual performance issue because of the composite model. So you got to be careful about that. But yeah, that like and composite model being used, like do they have that knowledge to be successful with it? And not cause problems for you, because performance problems and then costs associated with that could ramp up quickly. So you definitely want to be cautious with that. I like Casper's comment. People are saying they wanted composite models 2.0, and Casper said, yeah, that's called shortcuts in Fabric.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a great idea, though. But it's a great idea. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's a great point, Casper. It is.
Yeah. So
I like it.
That's funny. Look, that's another approach too from a Fabric perspective, is enable this from a OneLake perspective and then let the individual like businesses or whatnot, like create their own model and then just leverage shortcut data and then they just do their own thing, right? So like that's an option too, is take advantage of that. And that helps with reduction of data, all those things. So that's another approach as well. So like inherently, like the approach you're taking is not necessarily a bad approach. You can be very successful with that. I like the idea that you're giving the business access to the data and then they create their own reports from a self-service perspective. In general, from a concept perspective, I love it. It's in the details, and like, is everything optimized? Like, how much data do you have? Those are all questions that we start going into. And how do we optimize that? Like, so from a Dynamics F&O perspective, are you properly creating a data warehousing approach off of that includes best practices and so forth? So
it's scary though. It's scary. And Robin made a good point in the chat. It is, because what if they have different calendars? I didn't even think about that. What if they have each organization has a different fiscal calendar, or what if they have a different way they roll up something that you're using in one of your dimensions, or what if they calculate everybody? I don't know. There's so many. So I'm gonna
harness the saying that Mark Gregary uses all the time. So discipline at the core, flexibility at the edge. And actually, if you go look at the document that was used that talks about how Microsoft accomplished BI, it's that approach, right? So, and it's kind of where we were trying to go with this, or that Klaus was trying to go with, is look, we want the central models, and then let people leverage that downstream, right? So, but you just got to be careful with it.
Yeah, how flexible do I really want to be at the edge when it comes to my data? How flexible do I want it to be when people are connecting and doing their own stuff?
Yep.
So
Yep. So good question. All right, Klaus, hopefully that helps you out. All right, second question from Tom G. So I know nothing. What I do?
Matthew.
Okay.
I'm
all right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I know nothing about Snowflake. When connecting directly from Power BI, is direct query the only option, or can you still import and whatnot?
Yeah,
so great question.
You
can do all the things. So we have, I know we've worked with many large enterprise customers that are leveraging Snowflake, and I see folks using import. I see them using direct query. It's no different than if you're connecting to like SQL Server or Azure SQL Database. The same options are available. So absolutely. Now, if you want to get into another option,
look at Mark's point. Mirror it.
No, I was just about to say that. You jumped the gun. I was saying it. Oh my gosh. It's like there's other approaches you can take from a Fabric perspective, such as mirroring. Oh my gosh. See, because Mark and I are just aligned, right? We're mind melded. Oh my gosh, that's really scary. What's in Mark's head? Oh, stop the mind meld. Anyway. There was a. All right, anyway, but yeah. So no, you can do that with Snowflake. It's a lot of enterprise customers use it, and you can do all sorts of things. But yeah, take it from a Fabric approach. You can use it with the classic Power BI approaches. All those things.
Click Alex's link and show it.
See, this is what Patrick's.
Show it on the screen.
Hang on. Hold, please. Go to site.
I gotta help you out with these comments.
I have to see what this is before I show it on the screen. Okay.
I opened it.
All right. So it's the Snowflake. It's the Snowflake documentation.
Let's scroll down.
Yeah, compatibilities, capabilities supported. Look at that. Direct import, direct query, advanced options. Look at all this. It's great stuff. Look at that. Bam. Look at that. Look at that. Right there. Import direct query when you go and do things. So I couldn't get this dialog on mine because you actually have to connect to Snowflake first before you see this dialog. So I would have shown that otherwise. But yeah, you can do all the things. Yeah, always check the docs first. Patrick can tell you I've been a little salty with some people on the day job front because they were asking me questions that were I'm like, the first time this person asked, I was like, all right, when I went to Bing, I searched on this and it was the first link. Then they asked me a question the second time and I just responded with, what did you search on? Because
that's not salty, that's shady. That's not salty, that's shady.
Hey man, I'm adding a little flavor to the shade. So
flavor. Okay.
Flavor. But like, please search on things. Like you can do amazing things. Even Copilot can get you started on stuff. So
okay.
All right. Yeah. Moving up. And Jason, yes, the January 2025 build of Power BI Desktop has an updated Snowflake connector. Patrick and I were talking about that before the stream. So here, wait, I need to show this because this threw us off. If you want.
Oh yeah.
So we're like, all right. It says you got to go to preview features, and we went to and we're like, oh, I don't see it. I see Tyndall. I see Copilot. No. They decided to put it on top of Shape Map Visuals, which I don't know why you would do that. Shape Map Visuals is the amazing preview feature that's been there forever. And I don't know why you'd put something on top of that. But it's the first one I've seen where it was added to the top and not the bottom. And like, we were like, where is it? So it's at the top. If you're curious, go check that preview feature thing. And then that's a different question, Bernat. I'm not asking that because you didn't put a Q colon in front of it.
You just responded to it though.
Yeah, but I didn't answer the question though. That's the key point. I didn't answer it. Not answering it. I didn't answer it.
Who defines this order? I do not know.
Don't know.
I do not know.
Matthew. Well, we'll see if we can get to it, Matthew. It's in the queue. All right, moving on. Oh, Scott. Good friend Scott.
Scott's. You got to read all three of them. You got to read all.
Or are they all three connected? I thought the third one was a separate.
Yeah.
Oh no, it is connected. Okay. Yeah. An org wants to share their data set with a datathon for analysis. What is a datathon? With a datathon for analysis. I don't know what a datathon, but are concerned, as am I, because I don't know what it is. They don't want their proprietary data set to become widely available on the internet. Okay. If this were Fabric, how could we give participants access to data set but prevent them from stuffing the data into an FTP site with a Python script or dropping it to an offsite destination with Data Factory? How would we do this in Fabric? So Patrick said, oh, I have some thoughts. Patrick, apparently you've got some thoughts. So
No.
You go ahead.
A datathon is like a hackathon, but with data.
All right. Why don't we just call it a hackathon?
That's all. It's a datathon. I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
So the first. So thank you for that context, Patrick.
Wait, but whatever you're about to say, the challenge is, regardless if we come up with a different approach, and tell me if I'm missing something, Adam, because I didn't listen to the whole question. What did he say? What did Matthew say?
Pretty sure Scott meant Don't say it. Don't say it. Okay.
I said it. Of course I said it. And so, regardless of what approach we come up with, ultimately you want them to get the data, right? And so if they get the data, how do you
whatever
stop
they
them
want.
from doing? I don't care.
They can do
I don't
whatever
care
they
if I
want.
come up with a really slick way, Scott, to stop them, to give them access to it. Once they get access to it, how are you going to stop them from doing anything with it? That's what I'm curious. That's
Well, so
so you
so
have to give them
typically,
access to the data.
so if we're talking, let's take the data. Oh, I almost said what Matthew put in there. Let's take the data-thon out of the picture, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say we're in an enterprise company.
Yeah.
Let's say we're just all working in Guy in a Cube, and I make these data sets available. How do I prevent? So the question is how do I prevent data exfiltration, right? I want to control the data. And from an enterprise perspective, there are mechanisms you can put in place. So I can leverage Purview, I can leverage information protection labels with policies, and do all these types of things, and make sure I'm restricting access to data. So I can do those things in an organization. But from a datathon perspective or a hackathon, and you've got all these participants that aren't part of your company, those things become irrelevant at that point because you can't apply that. You're actively exposing it to a public audience. So what did
Scott's
I do
like,
now?
I got it. Stop. I got it. Scott's like, I got it.
Yeah.
That might
Well,
not
but
be
I'm
a
like,
good-
at
that
that
might-
point, they can query the data. They can do whatever they want with it. So
Yeah.
So you can't prevent it
them
at that point. It's got to be anonymized at
Give
that
them
point.
there you go.
Yeah,
Give them an
yeah.
anonymized data set. And
Give them AdventureWorks.
Yeah.
Go from there.
Oh God, AdventureWorks. Oh
Yeah, Mark. I was I was gonna say, does that classify as pants? I learned about pants yesterday. So
yeah, you got to give them something different than their actual data.
yeah. Yep.
Scott.
You have no control, Scott. All right, data kickers, or data knickers. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
What's the site? Is it called Kaggle? I think if you go out to Kaggle.
Yeah. That's like open data
They have
sets
some
and
sample
stuff.
data sets. Yeah.
Yep.
I think you can go there, Scott.
Yep. All the things. It's nice.
Yeah, there's open data sets on Kaggle.
And there's other sites too where you can like generate random data. Like I showed Patrick that one time, we were at a conference somewhere, and I showed him. He's like, "Whoa, what is all this?"
What was that thing? What was that thing called?
I forget I don't remember off the top of my head.
Shucks.
I can look for it, but that distracts me from other things.
Okay.
All right, Rashaj. I hope I pronounced that. Is there a way to try Fabric free with a personal account? Negative. No, you need a business account or organizational account. Like you can't use Gmail. So no. Yeah, Makaroo, Laura. That's what it was. That's what it is. Yep. Makaroo. There you go.
Oh, wait. Scott said they anonymized the data.
Well, then what's the problem?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. David said you can. I don't know what he's referring to, though.
I don't know. Maybe he's talking about something else.
So the unmanaged, Bernat, an unmanaged tenant, yes, you can so if you go to like the video I posted last week, you can create an unmanaged tenant, but you're not using Gmail at that point, right? You're not using a personal email. But yes, there's other ways you can create a trial tenant or something of that approach where you can leverage, you can play around with Fabric, but yeah, David, but yes. But that at that point, you're not doing it from you're not directly going to Fabric and signing in with Gmail is my point. You can't use Gmail for that. But yes, you can start an Azure subscription trial and then create an Entra ID directory, at which point you've got an unmanaged, you have a tenant at that point, create a user, log into Fabric. Bob's your uncle. Go to town.
Bob, sure.
Yeah. All right, Els. Facility department wants to know the occupancy rate on meeting rooms during working hours. This is a Patrick question. I already feel it. And per room and overall. He's actively paying attention now because I called his name. We have a fact table with one row per meeting, part 2, which has a start date and start time, an end date and end time, and which room it is in. They also want a matrix with room versus hour of the day to see how the occupancy looks over time. Okay.
And I can't answer that right now.
Well, wait a second. What's the
Build
question?
the data model.
Wait. What's the question?
It's at the end. They want a matrix with room versus hours of day to see how the occupancy looks over time.
So the thing is,
question,
what is the grain of data for occupancy within your data? So like if I'm having a meeting, let's say that my meeting is from 12 to 1, right? Or let's say it's from 12 to 2, right? And so for those given 2 hours, it'll show that I have 12 people in the room, and so I have 12 and 12 for those 2 hours. And then and then from there you've got just trying to think about this in my head. So for each row I think she just wants to know how to do this. Yeah. Send me a sample. Is she a member? Can she send us a sample data set? Yes, Els is a member. I don't know what to hear, but
I think they. Sorry, Els. My apology. They. Possibly. Yeah. Can you send us a sample data set?
Yes. Yeah. Send that. We got to look at the data and go through it.
I'm working on it for you.
The answer is going to be DAX, probably.
Yes. Yes, and the model and modeling right? And so we'll model it out, and then you have to. I'm sure there's a sample somewhere on the web. Marco and Alberto might have a pattern.
Actually, I would say I don't know that. I wouldn't necessarily say that's simple.
I'm not saying it's simple. I didn't
say
it's simple. Oh,
Els was thinking like it sounds like it could be so simple, but wasn't able to get it done. I'm like, I wouldn't necessarily think that's simple. So yeah. Yep. Please send it.
Yeah, please send it.
All right. Patrick likes that kind of thing. All right.
Yeah. You can make a video out of it though. Yeah. You can make a video out of it.
Yeah. Matthew.
Thank you.
The answer is DAX. That's why they're stuck. Well, it's DAX and modeling, to Patrick's point. All right, Burnett. Dataflows Gen 2 consumption will improve in the future. It sounds like a statement, but you put a question mark on the end of it. I hope so. I have hope. We're better off translating into notebooks. That depends. So, like, what are you doing? I don't know what you're doing. So I don't know what you've done. Is Power Query optimized? Word validated folding? Maybe pipelines with copy item. Have we enabled? Is it the fast copy piece? Like, is that enabled? Like, there's a lot of questions that dive into that. To say notebooks are better than Dataflows Gen 2, I wouldn't make that statement. It depends on what you're trying to do and what's the best approach for it. So you can absolutely do it with notebooks. You can also do it with Dataflows Gen 2. You could probably do it with pipelines as well. So, like, there's lots of options. Yeah, Alex is making good points too. What's the baseline? Where do we go from there? Yeah, we got to dig into that. But in your use case, if you're going through it and you're finding Notebook is better for your solution of what you're doing, then go that way. Like, it's fine. If it works, not going to judge. But if you did want to optimize and try and get data flows to perform better, there's probably ways to do that. All right. Els, it's Bing, not Google. Sorry. All right, user 457. Gents, can you settle an argument? Maybe. It depends. I don't know. Did Patrick do the voice? Here we go. Didn't even know if Patrick did the voiceover for the January 2025 update for Power BI. I say yes, but colleagues say no. The fact that you can't tell is telling within itself. So actually, I will say it depends also on which part of the update you're talking about, because the demos are done by the actual feature PMs. Patrick doesn't do that. But the talking outside of the demos, that was Patrick.
Yeah.
We hope.
the reading
The reading was Patrick in all its full glory and excitement and energy and yeah. Oh my god! Wait, what?
That was my AI agent.
Yeah. He's got an AI bot that just talks for him, and actually, that we need to look at that, Patrick, because that might actually be better. That's a good idea. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes, he did the January
Patrick
one.
Pilot.
Oh my goodness. See, and then Patrick, you don't even have to come to the live stream. You can just stay in bed. Look at that.
I almost did this morning.
I know. I was waiting for it. It was like 9 o'clock. I'm like, are you going to show up, man? So,
wait, we're working on it. Like I said at the end of the video, we hear your we take your feedback seriously. We really do. We're paying attention, and
what's the
we have
feedback?
Some ideas. So
what's the feedback? I was the one with the feedback.
The question was whether or not I did it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we got to go back and tell the folks we're working with on that. That was the comment.
But the funny part, one of the people, she was like, I listened to Patrick on like 2.0.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right, Toma. How do you add service principal to the WSP of a member? What is WSP? Workspace something? How do you add service? What is WSP in this context? It's got to be workspace something. As a member using API via the same service principal, all permissions are granted at app level. Workspace permissions. I'm guessing this way. Yeah, workspace permissions. WSP. Toma just said workspace. Okay. Hang on. A couple different ways. Hang on, I got to pull up the Power rest. Maybe I can do it. Well, I did a kind of video on it, not that directly.
I think Mark Price on his YouTube.
Nope.
He was showing you how to set up. He was showing you how to do Open Mirror.
Nope.
And on one of his videos, yes, Mark, I watch your videos. He showed how to do add a workspace. I have to go find it, but he showed you
with a service principal.
With a service principal, he did.
Well, that's not what the question is. Question is not how do you create a workspace. The question is how do you add members to the workspace using a. All right, so let's head over to my machine. It's okay. It's okay. Either way, so
add a service principal to the workspace.
Yes. So you can do add group user. You can call this using a service principal. And then you can use, so principal type has to be defined, and principal type tells it whether it's actual like AD user or a service principal. So this has to be set. So it needs to be set as app or user or group if it's a security group. And so app needs to be set when you call that API. So Toma, I don't know. So if that member that you've called with the principal, so you will get a 401 under this condition where if you're calling this with a service principal, that service principal has to be like an admin or member of the workspace already. Otherwise, it doesn't have permissions to that workspace. Yeah. Right? So you've got to, that they have to be a member. So you may have to add that service principal manually, so then it can add other service principals. So if it creates the workspace, it should be added automatically when you create the workspace with the service principal. If you can create the workspace with a service principal, which it says you can. So does that help? Yeah. All right. You're deadlocking. So create the workspace with the service principal, then that service principal will be added as an admin of that workspace. If the workspace already exists, you can't call it with the service principal because that service principal doesn't have rights on the workspace. It has to have rights to add a user. So, So you got to do it with a different account or create the workspace with that service principal. Should I do a video on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Write it down. You want me to write it down?
Sure.
I'm writing stuff down over here.
Does that make sense, Toma? Did that answer? It made sense to me, but that doesn't always mean it makes sense to other people.
That's why you should do a video. Okay. That's why you should do a video.
All right.
And
I like it. That's my kind of video too. That's an Adam video for sure. All right. Good day, Matthew. Thanks for being here. All right, we are over time. Let's grab one more. Are you all right with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fernando, I created an environment in Fabric. Ooh, Patrick just did a video on this. And added a public library. Nonetheless, than Semantic Link Labs. But after a few days, it got deleted. What? Like the environment got deleted?
I think not the environment. I think the library.
Is it the library or the environment got deleted?
I think Semantic Links Lab got deleted. But I don't know why it would get deleted.
Sorry. So I saw David's comment that it says service principal needs to be a tenant admin. It does not.
That's why you need to do a video on this.
Needs to be
that's why you need to do
Fabric admin. Doesn't have to be a global admin. So, okay. So Fernando said the library got deleted. So was there like an update of some kind that caused it to bump out, or?
I'm going to go and upload it, and then I'll leave it in my environment to see if it,
yeah, David, the admin API, you got to be at least a Fabric admin. You don't have to be a global admin.
To see if it goes away.
Yeah, Fernando said he had to add it again, but like, I don't know, what was the interval? Like how long? And like, it could have been something that triggered it to delete. So I don't know. We'll look. It's the first time I've heard of that, Fernando, so I don't know. Yes, Mark, he said he added the library to the environment, but then that library was removed from the environment.
Oh. Well, but when I go to environments, right, public libraries,
yes,
and say add from PyPy, when did he upload a custom library? Because I don't see Semantic Link Labs in here. Not sure. Fernando, how did you add it? How did you add it to your environment?
Yeah. And one day the environment was blank. So that's not...
I've been having... Go ahead.
That shouldn't be normal, is kind of my point. And so have you been able to reproduce that, or it was just like a one-time thing? Also, are other people able to access that environment and maybe someone else did it and you just don't know? Like maybe you could go look at the audit log and see if there's anything there. So yeah, I don't know. All right, cool. Well, we are at the end. Patrick, we made it. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel great.
All right, man.
Yeah.
What do you got planned for the rest of the day?
I'm actually going to try to record one of these videos right now. Adding a
Good
column.
luck with that.
Adding a column to my direct lake semantic model.
Okay.
It's going to cause a stir. A calculated column to
a direct lake model.
Video.
To a direct lake model.
Adding a calculated column to a direct lake semantic model.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Football, but I am doing football. You're right, Kevin. Football. Go Texans.
On Saturday?
Yeah. 3:30.
Okay. All right.
3:30.
I'm going to see a movie, so, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So also for those in the U.S. that have a holiday on Monday, it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So Patrick and I are actually off from our day jobs, so it's nice. So enjoy that if you do have off and you're in the U.S. Other than that, Patrick, any other closing words of wisdom?
Yeah. So last night, normally I don't go out. So I don't do stuff besides going to a restaurant. I may go to a sporting event. But I was invited to go to a music concert, and I realized I hadn't been to a concert. Mm-hmm. I don't know how long. There's other things besides sports and nerd movies and tech out there, people. There's some really fun things to do. I had a blast last night at this music concert. I didn't even know these things were so amazing. And I got home like at 1 o'clock, midnight, which is crazy for me. So
can I ask who was
outside?
Who was playing at the concert?
You wouldn't know. You would have no idea.
Try
you
me.
Would have no idea.
Try me.
It's old school.
I'm
hip-hop.
cultured.
It was old
I'm
school.
cultured, man.
You're not this cultured. You're not this cultured.
Was it Digital Underground doing Humpty dance?
No. Art. That's right. There's art out there. Go and do some stuff.
Tell me who it was. I'm curious.
I'll tell you after this. I'll tell you after.
Because you can't say it on stream. Was it Taylor Swift?
Look at Casper.
Be honest.
Look at Casper.
Was it Taylor Swift?
Look. It may have been with you, Casper, in New Orleans. That's right. But go to a concert. Go do something that's not tech, or go Star Wars or a football game. Go do something else.
Yeah.
So go do it. Go leave the house and stay out late and have some fun. Just go do it. It was amazing.
Detach from the day to day.
Yes. Oh, yes. It was amazing.
And or get a hobby.
It was amazing.
So. He's scowling because I tell Patrick that all the time. All right. We'll see everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Have a great next week. And we'll see you next Saturday. Same bat time, same bat channel. All right. See you, everyone.
Got no